Race of the week is the Fleur De Lis Handicap under the Twin Spires at Churchill Downs. This is a grade 2, and let's take a look at the field. Remember, hopefully some helpful hints to give you a second thought on why you should maybe take some of these horses, take a look at some of the possible pace scenarios, maybe the class of the field, kind of just some of the basics of handicapping, getting you into the race so you can make an informed decision. Let's start at the rail, and Skeptic comes in, the daughter of Tisnow, 4 for 11 lifetime. You know, her best race was probably her most recent in May at Churchill Down. She picked up a big win, won by 2.5 lengths. Beat a couple of horses that are in that race, and she was favored in that start, upping her record to 2 for 5 at Churchill Downs. Now, she's never quite won at 1 1/8, so that's probably going to be the biggest guess, but she's in sharp form. She keeps Brian Hernandez, and he kind of does very well at Churchill Downs. So I think Skeptic is definitely a live contender in this spot. She's a Julie. She's another one, horse for course, 3 for 5 at Churchill Downs. And she comes off a win in both her last 2 races. In fact, she's won 3 of her last 4 and 4 out of her last 6 starts. So she's in good form, 6 for 13 lifetime. She's a winner, kind of a win machine. She did win the Bayakoa Handicap back in February and then won the La Trienne in May on the day before the Kentucky Derby. So she's definitely a contender. She comes from just off the pace, where I think Skeptic's probably a little bit more speed in the field. Elate, she figures to be a big favorite. Jose Ortiz stays in the saddle for this daughter of Megla de Oro. Now, she comes off back-to-back losses, but those are to Midnight Basou. And Midnight Basou proved last Saturday that she's currently the top dog in the division with a big win over Come Dancing at Belmont Park in the Ogden Phipps. So Elate figures to be 2 to 5 or 3 to 5 in this spot. If you're looking for reasons to beat her, she did not run well in both those last 2 races. Not just not winning, she just definitely didn't have a spark. Actually, her race 2 back in the Azuri, she ran a strong race that time. There was just kind of got hung out wide a little bit, and that was a small field, so I think she would do better in a bigger field. Now, the last race was when Escape Clause was kind of the lone speed, and then Midnight Basou was able to run her down late in the game. And Elate really did not fire that last race. She's had a few works since that race, including 2 in June, 5 furlongs and 4 furlongs. And the last one, she picked it up just a little bit. I think she takes the drop in class to a grade 2. She's definitely facing some weaker horses, but she is going to be 2 to 5 in this spot. Elate is the horse you have to beat. I do think that's the horse I end up picking here. I'm not sure she offers any value, and if she does win, you're going to get definitely lower payouts in your pick 4s and pick 3s. So if you want to get a higher payout, you're going to have to look for an upsetter, and that might be She's a Julie. Go Google herself, a nice win, 2 back, and she made it 2 in a row in that race, then got second into Electric Forest in the last race. That was another race with a 5-horse field. She was forced to kind of be a pace presser. She's another one that can sit 3rd or 4th. Not sure she's going to like a faster pace. I think she runs best in a softer pace, especially being a daughter of Into Mischief, who's a little bit distance challenged. She's never gone 1 1/8, and she has a little bit more speedy pedigree. Google herself definitely moves up in class here, facing horses like She's a Julie and definitely Elate. Blue Prize, back classer, 7 wins, 7 seconds, and 18 starts. She picked up a grade 1 win in the Spinster last fall. She's had just 1 prep this year, losing to She's a Julie back on May 3rd. So she figures to improve second off the bench. She does go back to Javier Castellano for the first time, and I think she's going to get bet because of that. She's definitely live. She ran a nice race off the bench, and last year she had a solid year, 4 wins and 7 starts. Blue Prize, I put her at about 3 to 1 on my personal morning line. I think you'll get that because I think Elate will be probably 3 to 5, and then She's a Julie and Blue Prize will battle it out as that second favorite. So Blue Prize, worth taking a look, and if you want to take a stand against Elate, she may be the most likely one to take a stand against. Auspicious Babe, she's a daughter of Bodemeister, 3 wins and 12 starts. Got 3rd to Skeptic the last time. She's lost to She's a Julie. She beat Go Google Yourself last year, and she also lost to Eskimo Kisses and She's a Julie last year. So she's kind of in and out of form. keeps her top jock in there in Florent Giroux, and she seems to be kind of holding her own form. So she's going to have to improve by about 5 or 6 speed points to really challenge for the win. You know, she's pretty consistent in her 81, 84, 86 buyers, and that's roughly a length to a length and a half. In order to actually win this race, she's either going to have to improve by 2 to 3 lengths, and horses like Elate and She's a Julie are going to have to regress. So Auspicious Babe, definitely an outsider. Elate is my top choice. I think horses that are usable are Blue Prize and She's a Julie. And Skeptic's in strong form right now. So she's another one you may want to take a second look at and definitely put in the bottom half of your exactas if you're going to try to key Elate or Blue Prize on top. That's a look at the Grade 2 Fleur De Lis Handicap from Churchill Downs. Remember, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to get notifications. We're going to be previewing a lot of these stakes races this Saturday from Churchill Downs, including the Stephen Foster. Subscribe today here at Derbyologist.